Hello! We have 3 stories today, and we're going fully wholesome. Today's stories come from the most wholesome of 2022 awards and will warm the heart of the most cynical of us. Our first story has a man facing truly tragic life events back to back, and a woman desperately wanting to offer a helping hand. Story 1. My coworker recently lost his car. I don't know the details, probably broke down or something. He had to cancel his own wedding for his son's funeral last weekend. He's in a really spot. I don't think this guy is one of those make someone feel sorry in order to take advantage of them types, so I was already kind of half looking around at newer cars, waiting for a deal for a few months now, but not needing one ASAP. When I heard this guy was Ubering to and from work every day, I was like, holy, I'll just go ahead and pull the trigger on a new to me car and give him my old car. I have decided I'm going to do it, but I have no idea how to do it. I want to preserve his dignity, so I'm not going to make a big show of it. In fact, I really don't like the fact that our coworkers will figure it out when they see him driving my car. I don't feel like I'm doing it for self-aggrandizement. Everything just happened to line up to where I can really help this guy. I'd have donated it to NPR because I wouldn't get much in trade and don't want to hassle with selling. How should I approach this? What is the most graceful way to give this to him and refuse payment if he offers it and not let it be weird? I mean, I know I can only control my side of things, but if there are some things I can say or do that would make it easier, I'd appreciate some insight. In my mind, I was thinking of inviting him into an empty office and just being like, look, dude, I want you to have this. But then what? What if I offend him? What if he refuses to take it and continues to Uber into work? What if he gets weird afterwards? My boyfriend said I should offer to sell it to him for a super low price so it doesn't feel like charity, but I feel kind of tacky being like, hey, I know you have all this going on, but if you give me $500, I'll give you my car. Nah, that won't work for me. Maybe I could offer to sell, but be super insistent that I will never ask him when he will pay me, and he can get it back to me whenever he wants. $5 at a time if he needs to. But really, I am not trying to make money off this. I just want to help my colleague. He's kind, warm, and hardworking, and he's dealing with a bunch of a big, steaming pile. I can't sit here knowing I can help him and just shake him down or do nothing. How do I even remotely handle this? Update. So I showed up right as he was walking across the lot to his truck to leave for the week. I ran up and was like, hey, how you holding up? He sighed heavily and said, I am getting through it because I must get through it. I asked, have you come to a solution for your car problem? And he sighed again and said, yes, the solution is that I must have one and can't afford another. We were about 20 yards away from employee parking. We could see both my cars, so I said, well, this weekend, I bought that car, point at new car, and so now I would like you to have that one, point at old car. He was absolutely speechless, so I kind of started talking fast and was like, I couldn't find the title, it's in my closet somewhere, but I have all the necessary paperwork you need to bring to the Iowa Department of Transport to transfer it into your name. I'll pay for a replacement title if I can't find it, and it's overdue for an oil change, so I'll get that done this week while you're out too. I'll leave the keys on my desk so you have them if you get back after I leave on Friday. I attempt to look in his eyes, but his mask has fogged his glasses. I continue. Yeah, they only offered me $98 for the car, and I didn't think it was worth it, and I didn't really want to hassle with selling it online. Also, I don't have space at home to keep it, so I thought to myself, why not let coworker have it? So here we are. He has begun shaking. It's 15 degrees, so I am getting pretty cold, and at this point, I start hopping a little. So, would you take my car, please? I ask, by way of concluding the offer and requesting some kind of feedback. Immediately, he grabbed me around the shoulders and pulled me in for a long, strong hug. He is openly weeping into my hair now. He is saying something, but my scarf is muffling his words, but I let him hang on until he decides to pull back. Finally, he removed his glasses and he looked me in the eyes and said, you have changed my life with this gift. I cannot describe what you have given me. So of course I started crying and we hugged again. Then he said I must be freezing and I am to go into the office immediately, so I did. He sat out in his truck for a while before finally leaving for the week, and I feel content that he did not insist on haggling over money. Perhaps if he decides later to bring it up, I will entertain what he has to say. But for now, I am well satisfied with how this turned out. Now I just have to find that darn title. As it turns out, I was totally overthinking how this was going to go. In the comments, Rohini Rambles said, "Lost car. Sad, must be tough to get around. Had to cancel his wedding. Ouch, that must have been hard too. His son's funeral?" TechRec added, "When sorrows come, they come not in single spies, but in battalions." Shakespeare, I think. OP added, "Hey guys, just wanted to give another update. Also, holy cow, love you all so much. Coworker is in fact a truck driver for my company, and he may not take his work vehicle home because it's huge. The funeral was in Africa, which in the dark COVID times meant a lot of time quarantining and a huge expense up front. He is still driving the car. We consider each other friends and have supported each other unreservedly since I posted my story almost 2 years ago. Thanks for the interest, everyone. Seriously, heart. So glad to be here." OP, you are pure stardust. The world needs more of you. Not only did you gift a car, but you were super mindful of how to make sure that your coworker was able to maintain his dignity while accepting such a generous gift. You get all the gold stars. Our second story has a young man who's grown up holding on to a letter from his mother he doesn't know or remember until he finds her. But will she remember him? Story 2. She had me when she was 14, and I, 24-year-old male, was given up for adoption. My parents told me about her growing up. I still have the letter she wrote me that she asked if they could give it to me if they wanted. It's crazy reading it sometimes and knowing it was a literal child who wrote it saying she's sorry. She couldn't be my mommy, but she hopes I'm happy. She was open to having contact, but we moved for my dad's job when I was 11. And then it seemed impossible to find her. But luckily, I did. She's working at the small restaurant and I keep going, but she doesn't know it's me. We talk sometimes. And she seems like a nice lady. Sometimes, when she says something like, "Do you want a refill, honey?" or uses another term like that, I want to tell her. I don't know why it makes me nervous. We talk sometimes and she seems really genuine. If it's not super busy, she's more open to talking about random stuff. I literally drive 2 hours to come eat at this place just to see her. And it's like she knows me already because I'm there once or 2 times a week for the past 3 months. So she always says hi with a big smile. But man, if only she knew. Update. Well, I did it. I told her. And yeah, it was pretty heavy. My heart was even beating fast. I kept trying to think how to tell her. Many of the comments on my last post here mentioned writing her a letter just how she wrote a letter for me. Originally, that was the plan, but for me, it felt like I needed to say it. Oh, really quick, I want to say thanks to everyone for their love and support. Mostly to all the birth parents out there who shared their stories with me. That's what really helped push me to have the courage to confront her. It meant so much, so thanks. Everything happened day before yesterday, by the way. I did wait for her to be done with her shift, and that was when they were closing the restaurant already. So I waited in the parking lot. We said hi when she saw me first, but then I told her there was something serious that she needed to know. First, I told her sorry for keeping it from her this long. She didn't react until I actually pulled out her letter. And she started bawling from there, like screaming and crying at the same time, and didn't even have to finish the whole "I'm your son" speech. She just saw it and knew. It was crazy. Next thing I know, she's hugging me instantly, but then she pulled back and asked if it's okay to hug me. Of course it is. And we're just there hugging and crying in the parking lot. It hit her hard, though. Her legs gave out for a second, so I had to actually hold her up while she's still hugging me for a minute. What really got me was her saying to me, "Look how big you got." Also, hearing her cry made me cry too. She went back to open the restaurant up. She wouldn't take no for an answer. We had coffee, ate a slice of their pie inside, and talked. So many things we talked about. She told me the second time I came to the restaurant, she got a feeling. But for her, it was hard to believe it was me. So that feeling she had was pushed way down. Because she told me for years after I was adopted, she saw kids that would be my age and used to think they were me. Then she would be crying in public. It with her mind a lot and made her depressed, so she didn't want to do the same when she saw me. Getting her hopes up like that. She says I look so much like my biological dad when he was younger, though. We talked about him too. They stayed in contact with each other in case I ever reached out to one of them so it would be easier to contact the other. I didn't have hope about finding my biological dad since he was never mentioned, so I'm glad they both planned for this future scenario. She told me about how they wanted to keep me. especially my biological dad. He didn't want me to be adopted, but he knew they had to because they were just kids. It took him a long time to get past it after I was born, she told me. That's why he didn't leave anything, because he didn't want to believe he might not see me again. We talked for hours until almost 2 in the morning. They closed at 11. She just wanted to know everything about me, but her main thing was, am I happy? Were my parents good to me? Did I have a happy childhood? And I did. I told her thank you for helping to give me this life. We both cried again. She cried the most. Everything was very emotional for her. Sometimes she would look really happy but then get sad again. After my 18th birthday, she was hoping I would find her. That's why she stayed in the same city. But since I didn't, she always thought maybe I resented her, wasn't told I'm adopted, or maybe had decided it was better not to have her around. It made me feel bad for not telling her sooner. She told me it's not my fault and I did right going at my own pace. Honestly, she's so sweet. The way she kept looking at me with the biggest smile, it made me emotional sometimes. Makes you think, how can someone who's been a total stranger your whole life look at you with so much love? It's wild. We learned so much about each other. She asked me if we could have dinner soon to keep talking, and if at some point in the future, if I'm interested, come over to her house so I can meet her husband. That all sounded really great. We exchanged numbers. After I left, she sent a text telling me thank you for giving her this gift that she didn't know if it would ever come. My girlfriend came over and she hugged me while I cried. I wasn't sad, by the way. These were happy tears. Everything went better than I expected. In the comments, Vita Obscure said, "Onion ninjas again." Jalith added, "They're really sneaky little Sniffle. Date Successful shared, "This is how you want it to be. You dream your parent is out there somewhere, waiting for you, sober and stable, just wishing for you and waiting for you and wanting you. It's beautiful. I'm so happy for them. It's a dream come true. How beautiful." This really is a beautiful story, the best possible outcome one could hope for in this situation, which is exactly why I selected it for today. I think my favorite part is that the mom knew in her heart that this was her son, but didn't want to be disappointed. Every person came through in this story, starting with OP's adoptive parents actually giving him the letter. OP did go on to meet his father, which he later posted about. I'll link it in the description. Our third story is the shortest, but has the onion ninjas hitting hard as a teenage boy struggles to let the woman who adopted him know how much he's grown to love her. My bio parents put me, a 15-year-old male, up for adoption when I was born, so I was always in foster homes until I was 12. I had a teacher, Janice, a 33-year-old female, who was my homeroom teacher. Janice found out about me being a foster kid and how I wished I had a family. Janice had also been a foster kid growing up, and so long story short, she then became my foster mom and adopted me. Janice is the best mom I could have ever asked for. She has been so unbelievably kind and loving to me, and I absolutely adore her. The problem is that I don't call her mom. I just call her Janice. I want to start calling her mom, but have no idea how to without making it awkward. Please help me, internet strangers. Update. So, was not expecting this big of a response. Thank all of you for responding, and some of the ideas made me really tear up. Anyways, this morning I went to Janice and I said, "Good morning, Mom." She just looked at me and started crying, then came over and hugged me and kissed my forehead. I hugged her back and she said I could call her whatever made me comfortable and that she loves me more than anything. I just replied with, "I love you, Mom." So yeah, hope this update makes someone's day because it certainly made mine. Have a great day. In the comments, Chiaki Negi said, "Matilda in real life," crying emoji. Burnt Toast added, "This is what I came here to say. Real life, Ms. Honey." Sarah Cat said, "We really need more positive content like this on Boru. Just sweet and wholesome. And the world needs more Janices and OPs. I'm happy that they found each other." Leme Rem replied, "No problem. Just gave my kids up for adoption." OP, it certainly made my day. It's so lovely when people share the good in this madhouse of Reddit. I love that you did it randomly one morning too. It shows that any time is a good time to show appreciation, love, and respect for the people that show up for you in life. Because that is what family is all about. If you've enjoyed the story and would like to hear more, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Thanks, and bye for now.